Hi, it's Gerry again, and this is day 25 of A Course in Miracles. The theme for today was, I do not know what anything is for. And what I needed to do was 6 times during the day for about 2 minutes each time, look around me and note the objects that I saw, and for each one say, I do not know what this whatever is for. I do not know what this camera is for. I don't know what this clock is for. And on one level, actually this came to me more as I did the activity more times, that I don't know who else is going to use this camera. I don't know who's going to look at this clock in the future. I don't know who is going to read this book in the future. I don't know who is going to use this cupboard in the future. It really strikes you with the impermanence of things. And that was quite enlightening as I did the activity more. My initial reaction was, again, that we don't know, like we set goals, right? But we don't know what's going to happen. We have to let go of certain things. And I teach a class on social justice, actually, and I thought of this as I was teaching today. I teach a class on social justice, and we were talking about a very Canadian issue, but it's actually a global issue, and that is the treatment of our First Nations people. The colonial attitude that subjugated and tried to take the culture away from our First Nations people, tried to assimilate them into white society. And the people at the time thought that this was a good idea. And we looked at historic reports that, historical documents that said they were doing a really good job. And I guess they were doing a really good job, but it was a pretty horrible goal to have. And, it really made me think, when we set goals, are we doing the right thing? And another thing that I teach my class, and again, this comes from the First Nations people, are the 7 grandfather teachings of humility, honesty, gratitude. No, gratitude wasn't one of them. Respect, courage, truth, love, and there's one more. But anyhow, these principles are very powerful. And when we set goals, we need to, I believe that we need to look at, do they live those principles? Because yes, they are First Nations teachings, but they are universal principles. Is this the loving thing to do? Am I showing respect for the environment and other people in doing this? Am I seeking truth? Do I have an attitude of gratitude? Those are the things that are most important. And I think that if people would have taken a step back historically and done that and said, whoa, what we're doing is really disrespectful to these people. Look at how they're hurting. Is this really the loving thing to do? And am I being humble in acknowledging not only my giftedness, but their giftedness? That's what basically humility is. So it really made me aware that if we're going to seek God, if we're going to look at God's truth, we need to be honest about our goals, what things are really for, what's really important. And if they don't draw us closer to God, if they don't make the world a better place, if they don't follow those principles, then they're probably not the right thing. That's what I got out of today's teaching. I know I kind of went into a more philosophical kind of thing. But at the same time, things, we don't know what they're for. We need to, let go of things. talked in my writing about a divine interruption. Sometimes when things don't turn out the way that we want them to, that it's a really good thing. And maybe, well, God knows more than we do. And I think we can get closer to his will by following those principles I was just talking about. But at the same time, we need to let go and let God. Allow for divine interruptions, allow for life to flow, and trust God, and love. So those are my reflections for today. I know it kind of jumped around. Sometimes, after a day of teaching, I get my idea full of things and I want to put more in. I don't know if I'm helping or hurting, but those are things, as I go through the day, I reflect on the teachings of the day. And so I hope you don't mind. And I hope you enjoy this experience. And I am so thankful for all the people all over the world for joining me. And once again, I say, God bless you. And I really mean that. May God's blessings be abundant upon your life. And I'll talk to you more tomorrow.